Hello, and welcome to the Tavern Chat podcast. I'm your host, Eric Tenkar, your bartender in the OSR, your main proprietor at the Tenkar's Tavern blog. Now, uh, one of these topics that always comes up when it comes to theoretical gaming is what I'm going to call it theoretical morality of RPGs is nature versus nurture. And when I say nature versus nurture, I'm talking about the Paladin, right? Does he kill the orc babies because they are doomed to be evil anyway? They are evil even as toddlers and infants. Or does he leave them be? Because maybe they can grow up to be righteous humanoids. Well, first off, there's an issue with that because slaying the parents and leaving the babies be means that you're just leaving the babies and kids to die. So now it is, do we do the quick death or we do the let you die over days of starvation? Which one is better? It's a quandrum, right? Or quandary. But even worse than that is, why is the question even coming up? If you look at Lord of the Rings as a source material for orcs, orcs are created evil, right? They were not even born. They were like mass produced. They were like the industrial revolution. Yeah, industrial revolution of evil incarnate making soldiers. So yes, they're all evil. But in our D&D, in our RPGs, where does that fall? You know what? My opinion, it should fall on the not even on my radar list. Why? Because putting real world, rules into fantasy gaming doesn't really mix all that well. Okay? We don't deal with the fact that these oversized cities, we don't talk about how do they have running water? Do they have sewer systems? What's being used to keep rampant disease in check? Is it magic? Are there enough cure disease spells to go around to control the epidemics? We don't worry about that, right? So why are we worrying about nature versus nurture? Now, I'll be the first to say, have my players come across, usually goblins or kobolds. I always, the runt of the litter, so to speak, the goblin that hung out in the back and didn't attack the party, was preferring to hide. Maybe they aren't lawful evil. Maybe they are lawful neutral with evil tendencies. I've had the players take them in. They're lawful. They can actually become decent henchmen because of that lawful tendency. But it doesn't mean that they're going to become good creatures just because now you are nurturing them well. Even if you took it from a baby. It's like, would we be having this question if the players got a red dragon egg, right? They got a red dragon egg, they bring it back, they raise it, they hatch it, and the resulting dragon, is it going to be anything other than evil? No. But we think differently because, the creature is humanoid. It's a fantasy game. Okay? If you look in your AD&D Monster Manual, it gives you alignments for everything. Mankind is generally neutral. Soldiers tend to be lawful neutral because they're going to follow orders. I would say that the vast majority of non-player characters, whether they are farmers, peasants, townsfolk, barmen, merchants, they're neutral. They're not involved in the politics of the city. They're not involved with the gods. They're not involved with these higher level issues and problems. That's the forte of the PCs. Okay, that's the adventuring classes. It's not just the adventuring classes that have the specialty of leveling, right? Your peasants don't go beyond whatever they start with. Your men at arms don't go beyond whatever they start with, unless like you, as a GM, you say, all right, well, I don't know, Tom, your man at arms has survived 2 adventures. You know what? If you'd like him as a first level fighter henchman, he could be so. All right, that's making the campaign move along. But he doesn't, and he might suddenly have an alignment other than neutral or lawful neutral, right? And I guess brigands would probably be chaotic neutral or maybe chaotic evil. I guess you could go that way. But for the most part, if we are not taking special issue with individuals, all right, their alignment is going to be what the book says. If it says that, kobolds are kobolds the chaotic evil and goblins the lawful evil or vice versa, I don't have it in front of me, then that's what they are. That's their nature. Okay, and just like wild animals, you might raise that panther from a kitten or a cub or whatever they're called when they're young, but their nature is still to be a predator. Just because you put a new coat of paint on something doesn't change its nature. Or at least that's how I see it. Now, I'm sure other people have other opinions, and that was what makes gaming fun. So, if you disagree with me, if you agree with me partially, or if you agree with me fully, I'd like to hear from you. You can leave a voicemail via the Anchor app. You can email me at tankcars.tavern@gmail.com. And you can leave a voicemail, and I have no idea what my voicemail is at the moment. But you can look on one of the older episodes. I know it's in the show notes. It hasn't been showing up in the last couple of show notes. I got to fix that. Any case, folks, listen, I thank you all for the Apple iTunes ratings. We're at a 4.5. I think of that 18 or 19 ratings in, so thank you all. Thank you so much. As always, be safe, be well, God bless. Roll those dice. And I will talk with you all tomorrow. Later, folks.